So this Indiana Jones 5 stuff has been going on for way too long. I've been hearing about this movie being terrible for way too long. I'm just ready for the thing to come out already and for me to be able to see for myself. For everyone else who's the diehard Indiana Jones 5 fans, I feel for you, but I'm excited for you to get to see this movie just so you get out of this just worry period, this stress period of having possibly one of your favorite, if not your favorite characters of all time and franchises of all time be ruined. Because we've seen it a million times before, and we've definitely seen it from Kathleen Kennedy, and we've definitely seen it from Disney before, where they constantly take these old legacy beloved IPs and they run them into the ground. It seems like that's going to happen again with Indy 5. We don't know for sure yet, obviously, but it's been going on for so long that people have been saying that this movie is going to be bad, whether it's just speculation or whether they claim to have inside sources. It seems like all of the press for this movie is negative. And let's check out what we have today, because we have even more inside info, alleged inside info, for Indy 5, and a lot more hypocrisy coming out of the studio of Lucasfilm. Indiana Jones 5, worse than thought, reveals test screening. It's claimed that Kathleen Kennedy is going to destroy Indy just like she did with Star Wars. Shocker. I would have never guessed that Kathleen Kennedy would ever ruin a character or ever ruin a franchise. That's totally out of character for her. Indiana Jones 5 is claimed to be worse than thought according to a test screening, which of course could mean that director James Mangold is fibbing just a tiny bit about the flick. Mangold recently shot down claims about Indy 5 having test screenings involving Phoebe Waller-Bridge replacing Harrison Ford that surfaced from YouTuber Doomcock. Now, that's a very, very Disney thing to do. It's a very Kathleen Kennedy thing to do, to have Harrison Ford, a male protagonist, be replaced with Phoebe Waller-Bridge, a female protagonist. Very Kathleen Kennedy thing to do. So on one end, I'm like, yeah, that's very believable. It's a very believable rumor. But on another end, I'm like, you know, it's kind of low-hanging fruit to predict that, because it's very predictable, you know. So just you predicting that, I think that my 5-year-old cousin could predict that. Like, I don't see that as impressive. I don't see that as proof of you having an actual source. But if that is an actual source telling you that, then they're probably right. The trailer and official title have been released, and James Mangold has again responded to rumors and trolling a-holes. However, Doomcock's claims were backed up by the Daily Mail. Now a 4chan post offers more of the same, with Doomcock offering the following ending is 100% right, and that Kathleen Kennedy wants to ruin Indiana Jones just as she did with Star Wars. I wonder what that lady's problem is. I wonder if she really just has it out for these IPs, has it out for the fans of these IPs, or if she's really just really incompetent. Because the rumor is that she's gone after Indy 5, so maybe she really is just that incompetent, where she's trying her absolute best and she just can't do it. And Disney's finally like, look, we've tried this for like 10 years now, and you just can't get anything right. You haven't gotten a single thing right. There hasn't been a single project that Kathleen Kennedy has solely been in charge of where someone hasn't been fired. Isn't that insane? Maybe Indy 5, honestly, I don't even know. I haven't kept up enough with it. But when it comes to Star Wars, I believe it's like there was like 23 projects, and 18 out of the 23 have had someone fired or left the project. That's insane. Now a 4chan post offers, I read that already. It said a few different endings were screened for audiences, all featuring Phoebe Waller-Bridge replacing Harrison Ford, with the following being the worst ending that is the ending Kathleen Kennedy wants to go with. It's also said Kathleen Kennedy and the studio have been butting heads over the ending to Indy 5, as Kathleen wants the following ending, but the studio is stating no to it. What happens remains to be seen. Let's just get to the ending here. Obviously spoilers, so don't be mad at me for spoiling the movie. Here we go. I'm just going to read through these 4chan leaks really quick. Indy 5 has test screenings, and I attended one. There he's claiming it didn't because, or he's talking about James Mangold is claiming he didn't because basically everyone at my showing hated it. That's exactly what Doomcock was saying. Marion appears toward the beginning of the movie and encourages Indy to come out of retirement for one last adventure. Mutt is mentioned but not seen in this scene. Sala appears for one scene. Like I said, I'm not an Indy fan, so I don't even know how to pronounce these people's names. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just a fan of Lucasfilm. I'm a fan of Disney, or what used to be, and I'm tired of them. I'm tired of seeing them ruin these IPs, man. So Sala appears for one scene. You can see him wearing a fez on the right side of the pic. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is playing Helena Brody, the granddaughter of Marcus Brody, and is quite possibly one of the most annoying characters put to screen. I wouldn't be surprised if she wrote her own lines. She constantly lectures Indy about his privilege. Jesus Christ, man. Can we just... Is it even worth saying at this point? I was about to say, can we at least have one movie, one legacy IP movie, where this doesn't happen? And it gets worse as you go down the list, but Is it even worth asking for? Like, is it even possible that we could get a movie like that where one of these IPs comes back and we don't get lectured about how horrible we are because of the colors of our skin and the, you know, what race we are, what we have between our legs? Like, whatever. Harrison looks like he doesn't want to be there the entire movie. That's just Harrison Ford, though. Mads Mikkelsen is playing a younger version of Tot from the first film. Please don't yell at me for the pronunciations, man. I don't know how to pronounce these names. Antonio Banderas is probably the best part of this movie, and that's probably the only reason his character's death has any impact. He sacrificed himself to save Indy and Helena right before they got sent back in time. The main MacGuffin is a golden clock that's the key to an ancient time portal. A group of Neo, not saying that word, is trying to track down before the Indy can. First, they go to ancient Rome for a bit, but they go back through and end up in 1933. A significant chunk of the movie is set in 1933, and the main trio is old Indy, Helena, and younger Indy. In my screen, that's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of cool. An older Indy and a younger Indy as the main trio of the movie. Pretty cool. In my screening, the movie ends with younger Indy sacrificing himself to save Helena, causing old Indy to fade away like Marty does in Back to the Future. Helena picks up his hat, and the movie ends with a montage of her in iconic Indiana Jones scenes and the set to John Williams' score. The movie also had a Helena will return. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. At the end, sort of like what Marvel movies do. Overall, 2 out of 10. I'd rather watch Crystal Skull 50 times than sit through this atrocity again. I hope Disney does some serious reshoots or just cans the movie. That's not going to happen, brother. But, you know, we can all dream. I also saw in the actual leaks, I believe this is kind of like a summary of the leaks, but that Indy, I believe it was the Helena character, is like preaching to him, telling, like it said earlier in this, it's he was being made aware of his privilege of being a white male. I believe he also refers to a certain group of people as Indians over and over in the film, and Helena keeps telling him no, it's indigenous people and things like that. So if you're an Indy fan, I feel bad for you. Get ready, because this is going to be a tough one to sit through. There's no doubt about it. Star Wars fans already went through this with episode 8 and 9, and then almost every show afterwards except for The Mandalorian season 1 and 2, where it's just brutal, man. It's torture to sit through. I have a feeling this is what's going to happen for the Indy fans with Indy 5. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's actually a good movie and I'm proven completely wrong. I don't think so. I'm not wrong often, especially when predicting that a Hollywood movie is going to be bad, especially when predicting a legacy IP is going to be brought back by Disney and be bad. It's kind of hard to be wrong on that one. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you have hope for Indy 5 after seeing these leaks? Or are you just as down on it as I am? Let me know in the comments what you think about the whole situation. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you on the next one.